Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tree of Woe Wrestling Podcast. It's your boy, the Black Patriot, once again bringing you the dopest wrestling content on the net because wrestling is my number one priority. Remember, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. It's a small thing for you, but for me, it means the world, and it means the world to the channel. The Raw after the Royal Rumble. But before I say that, first and foremost, you must realize that the Royal Rumble was straight garbage. So they follow up that show that is a hot mess, and not in a good way like Chelsea Green, but terrible show follows up with a horrible Monday Night Raw. Triple H must be stopped, Like, something needs to be done because this is getting entirely out of hand. Who greenlights this stuff? Are they literally in the back and going, this is epic. This is great. This is going to put butts in seats. This is going to sell tickets. Come on. This was one of the most boring, lackluster Raws that I've ever seen. You have and a segment, a 20-minute segment, promo session between Roman Reigns and CM Punk cannot save a 2-hour show that was just boring, bland, and terrible. You get Raquel Rodriguez versus Stephanie Vaquer for the WWE Women's World Heavyweight title. You get Penta versus Bronson Reed. You get Jovan Evans versus El Grande Americano. Liv comes out and cuts a brief promo. Roman Reigns cuts a promo at the end of the show. And that's it. That's it. 2 hours of nonsense. 2 hours of just... This show makes me feel like that even WWE is giving up. They do not care to give us a good product because they know their money is guaranteed. So they don't care anymore. They have no competition because AEW isn't pressing them. They have no competition there. They've went back into I'm just going to coast mode. And this is what we getting. You can tell from the product that they're just coasting. They're not trying. We're leading in. The Royal Rumble kicks off WrestleMania season. We're on the road to WrestleMania. And if this is the road that we're on, then it's shaping up to be a turd, just like last year's WrestleMania. Last year's WrestleMania was the first time that Triple H had ran out of all of Vince's tricks, all of Vince's storylines, everything that Vince had set up. That was it. That was the first time, that was the first Mania that it was a complete Triple H production, and it was absolutely bad. So if this is the road to WrestleMania, get ready. Hold on to your seats. Grab some toilet paper because this is about to be straight shit. It is over. It is over. WWE is doing a death rattle right before our eyes. This is literally a downward spiral because the product, the content could not be any worse. This is filler. Come on, this is filler. Monday Night Raw historically was a show that was rivaling Monday Night Football. Tens of millions of viewers. Superstars on this show having Hall of Fame superstars having Hall of Fame matches. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, having matches with each other. Mick Foley. Hall of Fame careers having Hall of Fame matches. We got Raquel Rodriguez versus Stephanie Vaquer. Penta versus Bronson Reed. Penta and Bronson are jobbers. Jovan Evans versus El Grande Americano. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is terrible. Nobody cares about this mess. Nobody wants to see this crap. This is literally unbelievable. If you know your history of wrestling, you know that this used to be a pop culture phenomenon. Office talk, kids talk, water cooler talk, high school. Everybody used to love wrestling. Everybody knew that Monday Night Raw was cannot miss television. Now you can miss it. It is entirely skippable. I watch it for content for my YouTube channel. So, and I'm a lifelong wrestling fan. So if I'm telling you that these shows are skippable, they're not bringing in any new viewers. Because if I never was a wrestling fan and I turned on the episode of Monday Night Raw, I will turn it off instantly. Instantly. This is not good. They started off on Netflix to 6 million global views. Okay, 6 million sound nice. Now they have repeatedly struggling to get 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. So you literally lost 4 million viewers since you started on Netflix. But this is the big show. This is the main event. This is the flagship show. This is the flag shit show. It's terrible. It's done. It's over with. I'm a run down the card again. Raquel Rodriguez versus Stephanie Vaquer. Penta versus Bronson Reed. Jovan Evans versus El Grande Americano. A promo from Liv Morgan and a promo from Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And that was it. Coming off the heels of a lackluster Royal Rumble, and this is what you give your fan base. But if we don't like it, we can F off. That's what Triple H said. He said, shut up being a critic. Just enjoy it. And I wish I could tell the fans to F off. Well, bro, you don't have to tell us. Because we are effing off. We're literally not watching the product. We're literally doing something else with our Mondays and our Friday nights. And these pay-per-views are skippable. Skippable. When I first started my YouTube channel, I watched every single episode of Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and every single PLE. Now I'm not doing that. Ain't no way in hell I'm sitting through a boring-ass 4-hour show. There's no way in hell I'm going to spend my Friday night watching a boring-ass SmackDown taping, and certainly Monday night I can find something better to do with my time than watch a boring-ass show. If you enjoy this, more power to you. But I can tell that people aren't enjoying it. The crowd says it all. The superstars come out and they're met with apathy. They barely getting pops. It is what it is. Poor Zelina, she came out at the Royal Rumble and was met with silence. I like Zelina Vega, but she was met with silence by no fault of her own. It is her booking. The fans cannot care about this stuff. I don't care. I have wrestlers that I care about that are my favorites, and then I see them on TV and I just don't care about what they're doing. I'm a fan of Raquel Rodriguez and Stephanie Vaquer. Was that match enjoyable? No. Was it This Is Awesome? No. And it got This Is Awesome chants. And I'm like, hold up. This match was lethargic, for lack of a better word. This match was slow and plodding and botchy. But This Is Awesome. Roman Reigns. We don't see this. We only see this man a handful of times out of the whole year. I'm not saying don't cheer for Roman. What I'm saying is understand that he's a part-timer. And the fact that a part-time superstar that has one foot in the door of the company and one foot out of the door is the only credible person to win a Royal Rumble and could walk into WrestleMania and win a world title, that says a lot. That says you are not elevating talent. That says you are playing with fan engagement. Because if anything, we wouldn't need to circle back to Roman Reigns if they would have elevated LA Knight properly. LA Knight is consistently over. You want to talk about a pop? LA Knight is literally the only person that gets an old school pop. LA Knight, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. There's a handful of people that the crowd does react for. But 4 or 5 people out of a whole roster spanning 3 shows, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and only a certain amount of people are getting pops. I mean, that should tell you a lot. That means, let's say 5 people actually get the superstar treatment from the fans. That means 95% of your roster, the fans in attendance, couldn't care less about. No superstar should come out to the arena and get met with silence. They should either be cheered or booed, but not silence. Silence means that we do not care. This episode was bad, and we're going to get into it. The show started off with The Vision, one of the worst factions of all time. It's a collection of jobbers that has been dominating the spotlight on Monday Night Raw, and then you wonder why viewership is tanking. You wonder why ticket sales is tanking. Braun Breaker is not that guy. I don't care how often they want to tell me he's a badass. No. The fact that you have to tell me, that's how I know he's not a badass. Because nobody had to tell me Stone Cold Steve Austin was a badass. Stone Cold Steve Austin came out, when you heard that glass shatter, you knew somebody was about to get their ass whooped. That's how I knew Austin was a badass. You didn't have to tell me that. But, oh, he's an unpredictable badass. He goes crazy. He's angry. Like, get out of here, man. It's a joke. He's a jobber. He would have been nothing in the Attitude Era. He'd have been lucky if he won the Intercontinental title or the European title. He's not main event. He's terrible. Austin Theory packed that joker up. He's terrible. Logan Paul, get his ass out of here. Don't nobody care about Logan Paul. Bronson Reed, the biggest jobber in the group. And this guy has a win over Roman Reigns. So that should tell you again how bad Triple H is at his job. You put Bronson Reed over your biggest star in the company, and Bronson Reed has went nowhere. Matter of fact, you put Bronson Reed over Roman Reigns, and then you push Braun Breaker to the world title. Why? What did Braun Breaker do to get a world title? Bronson Reed beat Roman Reigns. It's dumb. It's nonsensical. It's stupid. It's terrible. It's bad. Any negative adjective you want to add to this product, it fits. It's bad across the board. There's no stories being told. There's no good matches happening on TV. There's no stars being elevated. Triple H is the star. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with this massive runaway ego. Why else would he put himself on the cover of WWE 2K 2026? Triple H, you are not a wrestler. You are the promoter. You are the booker. You don't need to be on the cover of the video game. This man knows that he lived his career in the shadow of Austin and The Rock. He could not be the guy because Austin and The Rock were way better than him and way more over with the crowd. So now that he's in charge of the company, now he's making himself the star that he couldn't be when he was a professional wrestler. That is what we're seeing. It makes no sense for the repeated push of Gunther when Gunther is terrible. Gunther cuts no good promos. Gunther has no good wrestling matches. Gunther sells no merch. Gunther has never drawn a dime for any wrestling promoter he's ever worked for. Yet Hunter continues to push him. Why? Ego. He's not going to push LA Knight because the fans get excited for LA Knight, because the fans actually pop for LA Knight, because the fans want to see LA Knight. So Triple H is not going to give us LA Knight. He's going to give us Gunther because Gunther is his guy. You see what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Fan engagement. That is how Vince McMahon knew to make money. Austin come out, cut a promo. Austin 316 says, I just whipped your ass. Next night on Raw, nothing but Austin 316 signs in the crowd. So what did Vince McMahon do? Capitalize on that. What did he do? Push Austin to the top. LA Knight should be the world champion. Instead, he gets nothing from the company. Gets nothing from creative. That is the issue. You got a stable full of jobbers opening in your show. A stable full of a collection of wrestlers that nobody cares about. Braun Breaker can flip over the announce table all he wants. He could get mad in the ring, look like he's constipated, look like he's about to take a dump. He can do all that stuff and nobody will ever care about him because you're not giving him a good story. You telling me he's the future when he was the first man eliminated from the Royal Rumble? Obafemi clotheslined the shit out of him. He was sent flying out of the ring. He got his ass kicked before the match started. That is the future of the company? Come on, man. Come on, man. And they're setting up this feud with Adam Pearce. They're probably going to wrestle at WrestleMania. So your wrestler is facing your general manager. And I'm supposed to care about this. Adam Pearce is not a wrestler. Adam Pearce is the GM of Monday Night Raw. I'm supposed to care about this crap? Come on. Nobody cares, yo. The only good part about this segment was two-part when Adam Pearce told Braun Breaker, you should be lucky that I'm letting you keep your job after your piss-poor performance at the Royal Rumble. That was hilarious and a good line. And then at the end, LA Knight came out and he took the Vision out with a steel chair. Okay, I'm cool with that because anytime I get to see LA Knight looking like a badass, I'm cool with that. But otherwise, there's no reason to invest in this product. The first match of the night was Jovan Evans versus El Grande Americano. For the match itself, it was okay. It was a bit long for my liking, and the wrestling was okay. But do we care? Do you have any investment in Jovan Evans? Do you care about El Grande Americano? You care about Rayo Americano? Like, come on. This mess is stupid. There's no story involved. There's nothing going on. What is the rivalry? What is the beef? Why are they fighting each other? Why? So, a match for the... And this is funny, too, that a lot of people was accepting this. But the main thing that people used to say about AEW is there's no story. They're just having banger matches. What's the story? What's the story? I heard that repeatedly. But WWE does the same thing and nobody says anything. Okay, what's the story? Why is Jovan Evans and El Grande Americano fighting? There is none. They don't book stories. Storylines are something, a relic of the past. This is why every time there's a PLE, Triple H is booed out of the arena. They booed him out of the arena at Saudi. They chanted, we want Vince. And that is a growing sentiment among wrestling fans. Like, at this point, bring Vince McMahon back. Bring him back. Because Triple H sucks at his job. And fans of professional wrestling, we do not want to sit here and literally watch the death of WWE. Something that we all grew up with. We are literally watching the death of WWE live on Mondays and Friday nights. Like, I couldn't care less about this match. And then it was long, like 28 minutes. Like, come on, man. Those used to be pay-per-view length matches. Nobody needs to wrestle for that long on television. Like, nobody want to see this crap. And then they gonna bring Chad Gable back, and then they put him under a mask. So now there's two El Grande Americanos. Like, come on. So just so they could do the little Spider-Man pose at Royal Rumble pointing at each other. And they thought that was good. This is elementary. Like, you're not booking for children. Adults watch this show too. Don't nobody care that they got the same outfit on and they point at each other. Nobody cares about that crap. Chad Gable is a wrestling machine. He could be this generation's Kurt Angle, but they keep giving him dumb gimmicks. You already got Ludwig Kaiser portraying American El Grande Americano. Why the hell do you need to put Chad Gable in the same gimmick? Like, come on, man. Shit is stupid. It's terrible. But nobody wants to say anything about it, yo. Then you have the Viking Raiders, the War Raiders, whatever they're being called from week to week. They come out and they get jobbed out to Obafemi. So I guess Obafemi is going to be on Raw now. I mean, that's all I have to say about it. Obafemi came out and kicked their ass and that was it. It wasn't even a match. He didn't even pin him. He just beat him up. Obafemi, however, has hella upside potential. It's always a big if. If he's booked correctly, if they write good stories for him, Obafemi can be a breakout superstar. I do believe that. I believe he has all the tools. He's 6 foot, whatever he is, 6'5", 6'6", something like that, 300 plus pounds. The dude is chiseled. He could be the face of the company, but we don't know. Because you know how Triple H is with black wrestlers. Like, I still haven't seen the Street Profits. We ain't seen Montez Ford in months. And they weren't doing nothing with Carmelo Hayes until very recently. Now we got Trick Williams on SmackDown. Trick Williams is a beast. I got my fingers crossed for Trick and Oba. Those are two guys that have world title potential, but it's all up to if they're going to be booked correctly. And with what we've been getting from WWE recently, I have no faith that they're going to be booked correctly. So it is what it is. Then you have Gunther, a Gunther promo. Gunther does what he always does. Comes out to the ring and stink to join up. They said Gunther was going to be massive heat, massive heel heat, super heel after he retired John Cena. He retired John Cena. John Cena tapped out. After 20 years of telling us to never give up, John Cena tapped out. And you know what happened? Nobody cared. Gunther has the same amount of heat that he always had. Go away heat. Nobody cares about Gunther. Nobody wants to see him. He barely gets a reaction when he comes out. For example, Dominic Mysterio gets more heat than Gunther. Logan Paul gets more heat than Gunther, and neither of them made John Cena retire. Sunday at the Royal Rumble, Gunther retired AJ Styles, and it's sickening. I wish I could spit on the product. It's sickening. AJ Styles is damn near a 30-year veteran of the sport, wrestled all over the world, and he gets retired with no fanfare, no farewell tour. He gets retired by Gunther. It makes no sense. Gunther will never be AJ Styles. He could never walk a mile in John Cena's shoes and would be destroyed by a Goldberg in his prime. But Gunther gets to retire Goldberg. Gunther gets to retire AJ Styles. Gunther gets to retire John Cena. He came out tonight, they called him the career killer. He's the ratings killer. He's the buzz killer. He's terrible. The most boring wrestler ever. Cuts no good promos. Doesn't wrestle well. Looks like he barely hits the gym. If I turned on WWE TV and they never put a Gunther on my TV again, I would not miss anything. But on the flip side, like if I turned on wrestling in the 90s and Austin just disappeared, I probably would have stopped watching WWE. That's the difference. Austin is excellent and great. Gunther is trash and terrible. If I never saw him again, ever on any wrestling program, I would not be missing anything. Gunther is terrible. So Dragon Lee comes out because remember Dragon Lee was AJ Styles' partner and he attacks Gunther off Bucks. Gunther's out there stinking up the joint, cutting a horrible promo because he has no mic skills. The only good part of this was AJ Dragon Lee was pushing the offense. He was really pressing Gunther until Gunther grabbed the ring bell and hit him with the ring bell. And then, of course, after that, Gunther was going to kick his ass. Gunther choked this Bama out. Gunther was inside the ring and Dragon Lee was outside the ring. So Gunther literally hung this Bama, choked his ass out. That was the only good part. But Gunther's presentation, he gonna come out to AJ Styles music. Like, man, get this dumbass dude out of here, man. And I'm over Gunther. Next, you get the Bella twins, and they come out, and the reception is not quite the same as it was at the Royal Rumble. Remember, when Brie made her Rumble entrance, the crowd went nuts. They went crazy for her. Her and her sister come out tonight, and it's not so much. They're in Philadelphia. We know about Philadelphia wrestling crowds. We know about Philadelphia fans in general. The crowd didn't care. They didn't care. That happens because deep down, even though they paid their money for those tickets to be there, they are not being entertained. When your wrestlers come out and you get no reaction from the crowd, it is because what the crowd is witnessing is not entertaining. That's why they get no pops. It's not good. They could care less. The Bellas want to get the women's tag team title. They said they're the original tag team. And I wouldn't mind seeing them with that. But come on, they're not going to beat Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. It's not going to happen. So if the Bellas want a shot at the women's tag team title, it's going to be after Io and Rhea drop them. And they're not going to drop them to the Bellas. Whatever team they do drop them to, that is possibly the team that the Bellas will beat. But they're not beating Rhea Ripley or Io Sky. And they certainly not going to beat Rhea Ripley and Io Sky at WrestleMania. So they could just cut that out. Rhea Ripley and Io don't lose matches. So it is what it is. And it's funny because Liv Morgan won the Royal Rumble, but she was coming off an extreme losing streak, and she's been losing to Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. So no, they're not getting those titles, yo. That's not happening. Penta versus Bronson Reed, nobody cares about this match. Jobber versus Jobber, I don't care. Penta pick up the W after LA Knight, who's still feuding with the Vision, comes out, lays Bronson Reed out with his finisher on the outside of the ring to a steel chair. Like I said, as long as LA Knight is looking like a badass, I'm cool with that. I think this is a fake outcome, and they always do this with LA Knight. They let him look cool for a moment, then they cool him down. Like, I don't have no faith that they're going to push him, but I will enjoy the fact that he's getting his lick back on the Vision because they put him out in December. So LA Knight was the best part of another lackluster Vision segment. Nobody cares about this match. Then we finally is getting to we're at the last match of the show. But Dominic Mysterio returns. And this is the thing. Dominic Mysterio has been gone for weeks. He returns with the Intercontinental title and the AAA Mega Championship. So this man has not been wrestling for months, for weeks on end, but he was still allowed to hold the AAA Mega Championship and the Intercontinental title. Just fucking stupid. He should have dropped those belts and somebody else that's available to wrestle can be on TV with the belts. But that shows you how much care they put into this stuff. Somebody is a champion, but they haven't been on TV in weeks. Wow. Dom is back. I don't care. Liv comes out, and then Raquel comes out. And they have a little thing going on where they're like, Liv is like, oh, it's the Judgment Day. A win for one is a win for all. And Raquel was like, yeah, okay. So why'd you eliminate me from the Royal Rumble? Raquel has a point. But then again, she really doesn't, because only one person can win anyway. So it's going to come. What they can't share the Rumble spot. So one of them would have had to be eliminated. But did Liv have to personally throw Raquel out? I don't know. I'm a Liv Morgan fan, so I'm happy to see Liv winning the Rumble, and I'm pretty sure she's going to win the title at WrestleMania. But this is where the booking gets dumb. Raquel has already faced Stephanie Vaquer 4 times, I believe. 3 times. This match will be the 4th. She had 2 title shots on her own, and I think she was in the match between Raquel, Nikki Bella, and Stephanie. So, if you've lost to the champion 3 times, that already says that you don't belong in the ring with this particular champion. This champion is better than you. At what point does Raquel lose credibility? How many times is the champion going to beat her? You keep putting her in the match with the champion and keep having her lose. In the fans' eye, she does lose credibility, because now we know we shouldn't care about Raquel because she's never going to win. If WWE, and this is the thing, this is how you know Triple H is an idiot, because what they should have did, if you already have Liv Morgan dumping Raquel out of the Royal Rumble, that's building tension. They've been teasing the implosion of Judgment Day for months now. To be honest, Judgment Day should have broken up a long time ago. But you're going to continue to tease this tension. Liv dumps Raquel out of the Royal Rumble, then you should have Raquel beat Stephanie Vaquer and let Raquel carry the world title into WrestleMania, where she's defeated by Liv Morgan. But that's too much like right. So they're not going to do that. What are they going to do? Stephanie is going to defeat Raquel. And like I said about their match earlier, it was not great. And this is from a fan of both women. And it was not great. It was slow. It was boring. Raquel asked Liv to stay out of the match. Don't help her. Stay in the back. She wants to do this on her own. Of course, that's not going to happen. Liv came out, interfered in the match. Raquel ended up getting beat. She's going to blame that on Liv. That's the way Triple H is going to go. That's going to build the tension, because Raquel's going to blame this loss on Liv next week, I'm sure. But what she should be blaming it on is Triple H for having her come out week after week after week and get beaten like an idiot, because she looks dumb. She looks like a fool. It is clear that she shouldn't be in the ring with Stephanie Vaquer. If Stephanie Vaquer is going to beat her that many times, she's no match for Stephanie. And they're not doing anything with Stephanie either. And they're not doing anything with Becky. Becky is the women's Intercontinental Champion. She wasn't on the show. Rio and Io Sky are the women's tag team champions. They weren't on the show. Like, what is this? Literally, what is this? Maxine Dupree and Natty has been beefing. They've been building that up for the last few weeks. Natty's not on the show. Maxine was on the show. She didn't do anything. Where's Lyra? Where's Bailey? So now we're at the main event, and this segment, I will give this a C. I've seen better promos from both of these guys, and this is how you know Triple H is petty, because both of these guys went out of their way to bury Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is not even on Raw, but both CM Punk and Roman Reigns is talking about how many times they've beaten Drew McIntyre. That's how you know Triple H did not want Drew McIntyre with that belt. Drew McIntyre and Cody had to plead with Triple H to have Cody drop the belt before their match, because they knew it made sense for Drew McIntyre to finally get a win after jobbing for 3 years straight. Every time he faced a world champion, he lose. Cody had already beat him several times, and Triple H had Cody to go over. But they were like, no, it does not make sense. Drew needs to win this. And he does. Having Drew McIntyre as the WWE Undisputed Champion is a breath of fresh air. And then CM Punk and Roman Reigns both go out of their way to talk about how many times they've beaten Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre is not even on Raw, not even involved with what they got going on. But they're going out of their way to talk about how much of a loser he is. That's Triple H being petty. That's all that is. The promo, outside of the Drew McIntyre stuff, the promo was, nothing great. People were saying Roman Reigns gave it to Punk on the mic. Well, clearly Roman Reigns was outpaced and outclassed by CM Punk on the mic. There is nothing to this. And then my other beef is with this was when Roman was the undisputed WWE champion, all he did was talk crap about Seth Rollins holding the secondary title, the clown title, the title that WWE had to create because he's dominated everything. And then you turn around and that's the champion you choose to fight. I thought this was the clown title, Roman. I thought this was the secondary title, Roman. You're going to choose CM Punk over the WWE undisputed title. Okay. It doesn't make sense. There's no continuity. Why would you go out of your way to run that title down and then you win the Royal Rumble and that's the champion you choose to fight? Like, I am over this product. Like I've said in previous videos, if you like this, you might be a bot. You might be a WWE drone. You might be mindless, brainless automaton that cannot think for themselves. Because this is bad. This promo, I'll give it a C. It was okay. It was a 20-minute segment. It does not save a 2-hour terrible show. And that's exactly what this show was. And this promo is nothing, man. CM Punk was like, oh, just because you held your title longer than me doesn't mean you did it better than me. You're walking a mile in my shoes. Roman Reigns, oh, I hate you. Oh, you hate him? Because Seth Rollins hated him too. That's all. I hate you. Drew McIntyre hated Punk too. That's the only storyline y'all have for CM Punk is somebody hates him. That is fucking terrible. The best storyline, the best work that anybody has ever done with CM Punk since he returned to pro wrestling has been MJF. That is a feud. That was a rivalry. This WWE stuff is crap. It's crap, yo. And I'm over it, yo. So if I had to grade this Monday Night Raw on a scale of 1 to 10 based solely off the final C+ promo, I will give it a 1. This show was terrible. Liv Morgan won the Women's Royal Rumble and she hasn't even made her decision yet. Like, it's terrible. Terrible. Roman Reigns chooses CM Punk with the World Heavyweight title, even though when he was the undisputed title, he ran that championship down. Second-rate title, clown title, joke title, the made-up title, but that's the champion you choose because you hate CM Punk so bad. I'm out of here, man. Guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. This has been the Black Patriot with the Tree of Woe Wrestling Podcast. I'll be here. I'll always be here. Peace out. Thank you, guys. Stay safe.